Hey everyone, I think I'll make this video in English so that as well my English speaking friends can know what's going on and what's the deal about this Chelyabinsk situation. And I do often get questions from my friends like from Ukraine and from like other countries, like what's the deal, why do you care about what's going on in Russia, in some small town, and how does it help the situation in the world. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, we live like in a dream, all of us. We care only about our family. You know, these rules of consumerism format made us think that only our life is important, that only our family is important, and we don't care what is going on in the neighboring village. I would say that even we don't care what's going on in in our neighbor's flat. Like very often, only maybe in some rare situations we'll help out our neighbor, and that's it. But we all want so that in our town, in our community, in our country, the life will be better. We all want to live prosperously. We want safety and all these things. But the thing is that why do I personally care what is going on in the Chelyabinsk? Because first of all, it's not going on like at some random thing. The people who are behind the situation, you can find a lot of videos already made by other volunteers of Creative Society, where they tell about the BBC article which was made in Ukraine with reference to Chelyabinsk priests and all. And in Germany, similar situations occurred. So if you connect the dots, you will see that this situation is not as easy as it seems. So first of all, why do I care? Because the freedom of speech was violated, and the freedom of personal rights and the constitution of Russian Federation was violated. Someone might say, oh, but in our country also such a difficult situation, and you make these videos about other country. Guys, I'm making this video so we all wake up, you know? We all need to wake up. The result, what is happening in Ukraine, in Russia, in Germany, in Burundi, in Yemen, in Syria, in Palestine, because we live like in a dream. We think that someone over there, a president or a ruler or United Nations, will come and make our lives beautiful. But use common sense, use just logic. Just ask yourself a question. In the past 5 years, did your life become easier or more difficult? Ask yourself another question. In the next year, will your life be easier or more difficult for yourself, for your family, for your children? And this is my motivation. This is my motivation for making these videos, because I understand very well. I'm volunteering for Creative Society for 4 years now. I understand very well, if we as people don't unite, despite our religious preferences, despite our countries, despite what they say in news about Russians, Ukrainians, Germans, Jews, whatever. I mean, we need to finally realize that this is like our planet where we live together. And all these politicians that have enormous power to decide the fate of the whole nations, we are the ones who gave them this power. So that's why I'm making these videos about Chelyabinsk, because our participant, she was not doing anything illegal. There are so many crimes. There are child trafficking. There are people selling their organs just to make a living. The sex trafficking. There are so many, so many things, dirty things in this world. So many people are on the verge of survival, I don't know, in Burundi, in Yemen, in many countries, but we don't give a crap. Because today with me and my family, everything is fine. So why should I care what's going on somewhere in Chelyabinsk? Well, I do care, because I understand that tomorrow I will be the one who was in that situation in Chelyabinsk. And if they accused a woman who was just telling to people about Creative Society, and what is Creative Society? This is a peaceful volunteer initiative to make human life as the main value all over the globe. So don't you want that? Don't you want human life to be the main value? Not on paper, not somewhere, we're not paid by anyone. This is our own initiative. We made this step, each of us. We have our daily lives, we have families, we have our duties, but we make these videos, we do whatever we can. If they, these priests, corrupt cops, they will just shut our mouth, then tomorrow we will end up in the, I don't know, concentration camp, where you have your like social rating, and if you are not obeying what the rulers are saying, then your account will become 0, and this like you will be just thrown out of the city, no matter if the the rulers of this like global government they are doing something wise or not. And this is all happening, like, you know, in spite of the global catastrophes, of the global calamities that our planet is going through, like the ice caps are melting, the amount of forest fires which cannot be extinguished, the amount of earthquakes, floods, tornadoes. I mean, remember Turkey, remember Syria. Where are those, you know, United Nations and all those who spent last year $700 billion for fighting with CO2? I mean, with what are you guys fighting for? When this happened in Turkey and Syria, like, no, these organizations were anywhere to be found. I mean, who helped the people in Syria? Who provided excavators, drones? Only volunteers were there. Come check our conference, Global Crisis, There is a Way Out. Our volunteer went there and made a video about Turkey and Syria. He was asking people just on the streets, and they're saying nobody's helping us, nobody's coming. So where are all these organizations? So this is the consumers informant. And trust me, my friend, if you think that what happening somewhere in Chelyabinsk doesn't bother you, what happening in Syria, in Yemen, in Afghanistan is not your problem, then you know what? Tomorrow you and your family, you will be in the same situation. And then you're like, oh, where are all these international organizations? Help me, I'm in trouble. Well, you didn't care when someone needed your help. You stayed silent, you cared only about family, your family. So who will help you? So this is what Creative Society is all about. We need to grow up. We need to become one human family. I mean, this is common sense. We need to survive somehow. And the only way to stop wars is to stop financing them. The only way is to stop corrupt priests and corrupt cops and all this illegal stuff, human trafficking, which is happening, is to bring to light all this dirt which we have in community. But in order to do that, the politicians or the governments, the United Nations will not do that for us. We ourselves need to clean our own house. So I don't know what else needs to be said. Join Creative Society, check out the project, don't make fast judgments, make like your own study, make your own conclusions, study different, look at our conferences. I mean, come on, we have done 20 conferences so far, around 20, with 150 languages of simultaneous translations by volunteers. 150 languages. United Nations, during their forums, they have four, and you know how much money of taxpayers they are spending? I mean, guys, just check out the project, really. I'm 4 years now with Creative Society, and this is the best thing that happened to me in my life. And this is, as per my opinion, this is the only solution that we as humankind have today. If we want to survive somehow out of this consumerism format, this is our only way. And this is why I care what is happening in Chelyabinsk. This is why I'm caring what is happening in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in all countries of the world.